What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about a few different things, but it's all going to be really pretty much centered around, I guess, like my general opinions on warlords or Draenor. Now, a lot of people have asked me to make this video, and I know some people really like to just do, I guess like do the real talk videos, and so I figure I'll do one of those today. I don't really have a lot of, I guess, like notes written out for this or even bullet points, so I'm just going to kind of go off the top of my head and just what I've thought, what comes to mind, and what I really enjoyed, and what has been kind of annoying in the expansion. Now, I think that something that kind of goes without saying is the queue times, and so at the beginning of the expansion, and so that hasn't been an issue since, and that was really annoying, and now it's gone, and so I'm not really going to talk about that too much. I just finished doing gold challenge modes about a couple weeks ago, and that was probably some of the most fun that I've had in a long time. I'd say that they were probably a good bit more challenging than the Mists of Pandaria challenge modes, and the reason for that is in Mists of Pandaria. If you guys don't know about the challenge modes in Warriors of Draenor, the tertiary stats that can roll onto your gear. So we're talking like leech, avoidance, speed, all that stuff. It doesn't actually count into challenge modes. So like if you have like 1% leech, you go into the challenge modes and it's no longer active. It's the same thing with gem slots and Warforged, and so really the only control over like kind of gearing your character out for challenge modes is making sure that you those two I guess different like stats on each piece of gear are the two best stats you can use, and so it makes gearing for challenge modes a lot easier. And I always thought that gearing for challenge modes in Mist of Pandaria was kind of like a meta game. I remember like I would have like my best in slot list for all of my different gear characters with like all the different gear, and like I remember I'd run Mogushan vaults because like it had like 3 socket belts for like almost every character, and so like I always really like kind of doing that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit annoying that you can't really do that too much. Maybe they'll relax the requirements later on whenever things are a little bit more chill. But we'll see what happens. Either way, that is something that I kind of wish that they had done just so he had something more to work for. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you guys something else, like right now, is that I thought Garrisons, like, let me tell you guys something, like, I thought Garrisons were just going to be the dumbest shit ever, honestly. Like, I was just like, okay, yeah, you're going to get, like, it's basically like a half-hill farm. Like, I got weeds in my farm. I got birds flying down, picking up my chickens. I don't give a shit, right? And so I wasn't really too excited, okay? And the only reason I got those rocks out of the farm is because I needed an achievement for it. And so I was just like, like, what's this gonna be? But honestly, I remember one time, like, let me tell you guys, like, I was laying in my bed. Yeah, I had just woken up about 4:30 p.m. and I was laying in my bed. I was thinking, like, I wonder. I really want to get up. I really want to get up in today, this morning here, and check on my followers and see how everything is going. Pick up my lumber mill shipments. Get my wood, chop some wood, guys. Oh my fucking god! Like Fern Gully ain't got shit on me. Let me tell you something, man. I chop wood like there's nobody's fucking business. Like oh my god. Like I should have like 2 chainsaw arms. Like it should be like Kargath like ×2 or something like that, man. Like I love cutting down trees. Like it's honestly like, because let me tell you guys something. Another story is that like one time whenever the servers were down, I actually spent. I'm not even fucking kidding. I spent like 30 minutes watching different like guys cut down trees, like lumberjacks cut down trees, while I waited for the servers to come up. With literally, I mean, like you guys know, it's like one of the like Wikipedia things where it's like three clicks and you can get to Hitler. It doesn't matter what page you're on. And so it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of like the black hole of YouTube, and I just ended up there. And man, like I maybe it brainwashed me or something, because like whenever I cut down a large timber, oh, it's just the best. I'm so happy. And it's like I'm always like full on timber, and I got that little guy who's like, cutting more trees for me. He's like shooting the tree beams into my trees and making more trees. Oh, it's wonderful. And so honestly, guys, like I really like Garrisons. I feel like such a soccer mom saying that, you know what I mean? Because like you'd think it's like one of those things where, okay, this is the Garrisons. This is like something for the casuals, whatever. And it's like Farmville on Facebook or something like that. Animal Crossing, like guys, yo, for real. Like I have Animal Crossing, and my village was immaculate, no weeds whatsoever. Like Tom Nook ain't got shit on me. Like I could buy that entire fucking store he had. And anyway, I don't want to get into too much bragging there because I could go on for a while. But either way, I did really like Garrisons. It was really enjoyable. I had a lot of fun. Now, getting into the game, like as soon as I got level 100, it was pretty frustrating for me. Like, after like, because I was kind of trying to play catch up, because I had spent kind of a while, like in queue, and then I had to deal with school stuff and just like a bunch of other stuff that kind of prevented me from doing my usual 16, 18 hours every day. And so that was kind of annoying, but as soon as I got through that, kind of got everything else off the table and just started playing WoW, it was a lot more fun, and I was like able to kind of catch up with everybody with the heroics and all that other stuff. And so that was kind of a little bit frustrating at the beginning. Like I really hate feeling like I'm behind. It's just the worst feeling ever for me. And so it was really great for me to kind of, I guess, like catch up and do all the other stuff. But running the heroics was really fun. Sometimes I like to just like I did this in Mists of Pandaria too. Is like sometimes I'll just queue up and run a heroic just for fun. Like no real reward I'm expecting out of it, no loot, just to do it because I'm bored. And so Mists of Pandaria was definitely like a lot easier to do that, especially because obviously the dungeons were completely face roll, even like blue gear. And Wars of Draenor is seeming like it's going to be a little bit more difficult to do that, but I would be surprised if by the end of Highmaul, by the time Blackrock Foundry is released, that heroics were pretty much just as face roll as they were probably in the middle of the tier. What is a tier? I don't know, like the first tier of Mists of Pandaria. So I'm not really going to expect heroics to be very difficult. I do hope that they add in new heroics and also add in more challenge modes for those heroics. I think that would be really, really fun. But I'm not really expecting that to happen, but I am hoping for it to happen. Because as I said before, it's just like kind of one of those things that I like to do. Anyway, I did Highmaul, and I cleared Highmaul normal, and we're working on Highmaul heroic. I think we're on like the second to last boss, and so I've had fun doing Highmaul. It's definitely been I guess like more. It's been a lot more entertaining and interesting than Siege of Orgrimmar. One thing I really like about Highmaul is that in the first four bosses, it feels like you're kind of like in another zone in the game. It's not that you're in like an instance raid. It's kind of like you're in like an outdoor area because like you can mount up and like you can run around and all that stuff. And I really, really think that that's just one of the best designs ever that they've made. Like I remember whenever they did in Old War with the first four bosses there, and I really thought it was a lot of fun. And also, I think that the last boss, High Imperator, I'm not really sure exactly how to pronounce that, was an amazingly fun fight, even on normal mode. So I'm really looking forward to and excited to do it on heroic and also on mythic difficulty. But I can tell that I will probably be getting mad at a lot of people. And so people also might also be getting mad at me because I did some dumb stuff in there too. But either way, I really had a lot of fun doing that. Pet battles seem to be a lot easier, to be honest, in this expansion. And I think that part of that is just because I'm kind of going into it already knowing a lot of different stuff. I've already got all these other level 25 pets. But it seems like a lot of the trainers are very easy compared to the Celestial Tournament trainers. But I guess, I mean, that kind of just depends on who you are and, like what, I don't know, I guess like what you define as easy. But either way, and so I've really liked the raids. The raids have been very good. One thing that I am kind of concerned about is that the heroic dungeons, or sorry, the challenge mode dungeons, like as you guys might know, you can do a challenge mode dungeon daily every day, and you basically can go like let's say it's like wanted or like a challenge mode, like you have to go kill I don't know like some guy in Everwomb, like the last boss in Everwomb, a Yalnu, or like basically last boss in any of the different dungeons on challenge mode difficulty, and you get an item level 640 piece of gear. The thing that I'm not really a big fan of that is like you can already buy like 655 and like 661, 670, 676, and probably next week like 691 and 685 trash epics from a Highmaul already. And so with that big of a disparity, I think that there's going to be a lot less I guess like reason for people to run those challenge modes, and I think that that's a kind of a shame. And I wish that they would kind of increase the item level of the gear that you could get, because the challenge modes automatically outdate themselves, and they're already outdating themselves already, and it's already been a month. And so with something like that where it's already kind of locked in, like the amount of difficulty, I think it would be really great that people kind of go back and go back and go back and do it at least occasionally for a semi-casual player or a semi-hardcore player, that if they want to do that, it's an option, but it may not really be a requirement. So maybe if it was like 650 or so, that would be cool. But I wouldn't really think it would be cool if it was like 670 or anything though. Anyway, like let me think of some of the other things. Like I've kind of thought, oh, the Ebola goat, the Ebola goat. The Ebola goat is a thing. It's like this little goat that you bought or that you can buy, and I actually bought it because I thought I didn't read the bold print, and I thought it said the proliferation of Ebola, and so I bought it for that reason. But apparently that's not the case. It was actually to get rid of Ebola, and so I'm looking to get a refund from Blizzard. But the problem is that since I bought it on food stamps, there's kind of an issue there. But either way, we're going to see what happens with that. But hopefully I can get my money back and I can buy something that, my money can really go towards, like I don't know, maybe I'll buy the Cinder Kitten, or I can buy the Hippogriff or something like that. Or even better yet, I can buy another store mount because, you guys know how much I love those. But anyway, guys, I really think that Warlords of Draenor is probably like one of my favorite expansions that's come out. Like, in terms of like real content, I think it's the best expansion that they've ever released. And I know that some people might be frustrated because of, I mean, there are a number of different reasons. Like, I know some people are frustrated because, like, there's like something with like some sort of garrison building where people are going into dungeons and then leaving, and then that's some kind of that's pretty fucking annoying. And it's like, yeah, of course it is. But I think it's kind of a manufactured problem at the same time because if there was no the end quest, I think they wouldn't have been queuing for it in the first place. So it's a non-issue. But either way, it is kind of shitty that it's happening. But I don't really know exactly how they're going to fix it. I think that they're going to make it to where you have to kill the last boss in the dungeon that has the quest item in it. But I'm not entirely sure. That's kind of what I would expect though. Either way, I think I mean that's like kind of an oversight. Like they've had a couple of oversights, like in Highmaul. Like if you guys didn't know, the reason why the servers were crashing, like I think it was like a DDoS attack also, but it's Tarlina the Ancient, who's the world boss in Gorgron. The Genosaur was spawning too many ads. Like he was spawning literally too many ads, and he was crashing the server. And I remember playing against him on beta, and there were a lot of ads, and so I'm really not all that surprised. But I did think that was kind of funny. Like I think there have been a lot of like, I guess like things that you would expect that would be fixed that weren't fixed that kind of caused trouble, and so that's not really a big surprise because honestly, like Warlords of Draenor is probably one of the most ambitious expansions they've ever created because of just all the different things that they're introducing. Excuse me. In between like garrisons and just like all this other stuff in between, like the phasing stuff and just a bunch of other things in general, like the scaling or not the scaling, the wherever they like nerfed everybody's damage and healing. I forgot what the name of it was, but they have some sort of name of it. You guys know what I'm talking about. And the stat squish. And so I was amazed that there weren't more things that were like doing mob damage in Warlords of Draenor, but that's pretty cool. But either way, I'm actually really happy about the expansion. I think that I'm going to have a lot of fun to do this. I'm going to have a lot of fun doing Warlords of Draenor for a really long time. I think that in general, I think that it's probably going to be one of the better expansions. Like whenever we look back on it, I think that obviously everybody's always going to complain about like the current expansion and say that the previous ones are better just because that's the way it goes. But either way, I think that even in retrospect, I think that people are going to look back and, or at least even now, look back and, or look at it right now and say, this is not too bad. And so that's definitely where I'm at. And maybe you guys agree, maybe you don't. But either way, I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about this stuff. I haven't made one of these videos for a while. And so I figure I'd just sit down and talk with you guys about kind of my opinion on things. And so hopefully you guys found this entertaining. If not, hey, that's what happens. Hopefully I'll release another video today too. But either way, thanks for watching and like, comment, subscribe.